This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to Movie Battles Season 2. That's right. I am so excited for many reasons to be calling this match today the first match released in Season 2, but I am not doing this alone. I have here with me today a very special guest, former #1 contender herself, the fairest, Amanda VanHeil. How you doing today, Amanda?
I'm doing good. I'm glad I get to be a guest today.
Yes. I'm so glad to have you here. All of this has been quite a feat to get us here. I almost wasn't here. You almost weren't here. If you saw the end of Blowout, then you know that unfortunately, creatively, the hammer has taken over. But I was able to find a loophole, and I am able to at least call this first match today, which I am very excited about. And Amanda graciously agreed to be my co-host because for a number of reasons, this match is actually very important to her. Because today, we are in this first match. We are seeing a match between Dastardly Daniel VanHeil and Andy Too Sweet. Obviously, for a number of reasons, obviously Daniel is your husband. Yeah. And should Andy win today, he will be facing you. So what are your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I'm going for Dan because he's been studying up a lot lately. Like he's been watching a lot of the Disney movies.
Absolutely.
A lot lately. And I think he's got a fighting chance. Of course, I'm going to be cheering for him. That, I just like the idea of playing him in trivia. I mean, he almost beat me last time.
Sure. I mean, obviously if Daniel wins, he's going to have a little bit of a different match because you two have already played. So if we do that again, you're going to have to earn it. But
right, that's fine.
Like I said, if Andy wins today, not only will he defeat your husband, but it means that he will be playing you next.
Yeah, and I can't let him get defeated by both VanHeils or defeat both VanHeils.
Both of you. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever the word is.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you say we go ahead and get this match going? Well, actually, before we do that, just a couple of quick announcements. First of all, the format for this match is, of course, as always, from the Movie Trivia Schmodown. So if you enjoy that, go check them out at theschmodownlive.com and let them know that the cow sent you. And as always, the Flying Cow is not just movie battles. We also have a podcast feed where we talk about movies and television. So go over there, check that out. We are on podcasts wherever you find podcasts. And you can also contact us on Google Play, or not Google Play. You can contact us on Twitter and Instagram at the Flying Cow Pod. And if you can't remember all that, it's on the banner right above me. Not hard. But like I said, let's go ahead and get right into today's match. So let's introduce today's competitors. Introducing first. He is coming in with a record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. He is Dastardly Daniel VanHeil. Woo! Dan, it's great to have you back. Actually, an official player this time. how you and not just called the husband. So how are you feel? How do you feel going in today's match?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I've been doing some stretches. I've been doing a little wilderness research.
Very, very good. Limbering up, expanding your mind. Very, very good.
Yeah, Amanda and I went and watched, was it The Rescuers Down Under?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that bird is way too big.
I like that. Good reference. So how do you feel about your competitor today? I don't know if you saw his previous match, but how do you feel your chances are?
Well, I didn't catch the match, but I'm feeling okay. I'm still basking in the almost, keeping up with my wife on that one competition we did. So
yeah. I mean, you guys went down to sudden death. So I mean, Andy definitely has his work cut out for him. All right. Well, what do you say we go ahead and bring Andy in? And his opponent, representing himself with a record of 0 wins and 1 defeat, he is Andy Too Sweet.
Oh, nice to see you again, Clay. Before we get started, I just need to. There was a little bit of a something wrong in the beginning there. You said 0-1, and that was the Candyman. I'm actually undefeated. So let's start there with that, and then we can continue. So
okay, yeah, sure. Undefeated, yay! So it's your debut. Then I'm not sure why I've got you playing somebody who's already played before, but that's okay. That's all right. So
today's about course correction. It's course correction is what today is about. So
absolutely. So we got you here today. Your first appearance since your first appearance. So, we didn't get to see you in the tournament, unfortunately. So how are you feeling going into today's match?
Good. I've been studying. I've had some help, the hammer, by the way, thank you for listening to my requests and making everything correct and right again. So hopefully, season 2 will be better with him in my corner now. So we'll be talking frequently. And, this should be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a blast. Yeah. I mean, you came in at the beginning of Blowout. You said you had a goal. You want to play Daniel, and if you win, then you actually get to play my co-host today, Amanda VanHeil. So how you feeling your chances are?
It's going to be tough, but I'm here to prove that I belong here, and I'll fight who I need to fight. I'll play who I need to play, and I'll work my way to the top if I need to. Got to go through whoever I need to go through to get there.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and you got quite a road. So let's go ahead and get you started down it. Let's go ahead and bring Daniel back in. All right. So let us go ahead and get going with the rules of round number 1. All right. In round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write each answer. Answers in this round must be spoken aloud when revealing your response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1 point bonus question. Competitors will also have 3 repeats that they can use at any time throughout the match. So if you need to hear something again, or you just need a little bit more time, use your repeats. Each competitor also has a challenge that they can use if at any time they disagree with a ruling. If we agree with your challenge, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Are there any questions going into round number 1?
Oh.
All right. Then are the competitors ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Amanda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, then I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. All right.
Woo.
And we will go ahead and we will start in round number 1 with question number 1 in the category of early classics and classics. These are the films mostly of the 30s through the 50s, obviously excluding package films. And your question. In Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, what do the dwarves mine? Being a competitor yourself, Amanda, I would imagine you've seen this movie quite a few times.
Yeah, once or twice.
Yeah, how many times would you say you've seen this movie, probably?
Oh gosh. I've probably watched it about 50 times. Like, easily 50.
Yeah, I was hoping you would at least say 7. And 5, 4,
Oh my
3, 2, and 1. All right. Dan, we are going to start with you, sir.
Well, I'm actually getting this answer from riding the minecart ride over at Disney World, because I might have guessed gold, but I'm going with gems.
Gems is correct for 1 point. And Andy?
Gems, diamonds. I don't know if we can.
Diamonds, I'm afraid, is a little too specific.
They do specifically mention diamonds in the
Do
song.
they?
Yes, where a million diamonds shine.
All right, then I will take that. Amanda thinks that we should take it, and I will take it. All right. So
And a little bit of useless trivia here. Diamonds don't necessarily have to be clear.
True. It's true.
That's
All
true.
right. All right. So we will go ahead then and move on to question number 2, and they are currently tied at 1.
All right, this question comes from the Renaissance. What actor, director, and producer provided the voice of Philoctetes?
Hercules. Hercules is one of those films that I actually didn't see for a few years later after it came out. I did not see it when it came out. I think I probably saw it in like 2001, something like that.
Better late than never.
Right? Right? I mean, it's pretty good.
Exactly. It's a good
And-
movie. I saw it multiple times when it was
5,
still in theaters.
4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Andy, we're starting with you.
Mr. Danny DeVito.
That is Danny DeVito.
My
And
namesake.
Daniel has the same. All right, so they are keeping it tied up at 2 apiece going into question number 3.
I was not named after Danny DeVito, by the way.
Oh, good.
I'm very glad you cleared that up, because we were all really worried and wondering if you
I
were
thought for
indeed
years.
named after Danny
Thought for
DeVito.
years. All right. So we are going to go into category 3 in the category of the dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. And your question. In what film will you find the voice talents of Martin Short, David Hyde Pierce, and Emma Thompson? You know, I am a big fan of Martin Short, especially his work with Steve Martin. I always thought that that was an interesting pairing, because they both have Martin names. Martin Short, Steve Martin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Dan, we're going to start with you, sir.
Oh, complete shot in the dark.
Atlantis is incorrect. So Andy, do you have it?
Oh, I had the wrong thing.
We were looking for Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet. One of those difficult ones that had a lot of people in them, but not a lot of people saw it.
But you hear the names and you're like, wait, which one was that?
All right, so they are still tied at 2. No perfect rounds, but they're still tied at 2 going into question number 4.
All right. In Finding Nemo, what is the name of Nemo's teacher?
It's Pixar films. Big fan of Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, that sounds like a blanket statement. It's like, yeah, who's not?
Well, like, just the fact that they make, like, inanimate objects look so expressive
It's
is
true.
just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredibles. I didn't even think of that.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, Andy, let's see what you got.
I think I got this wrong. Miss Ray. I know that's not right at all.
Oh, you're
I'm
so
afraid
close,
we
but
cannot
no.
give that to you.
No. All right, Dan.
I just went with Ray. Is it Mr. Ray? Is that how close people?
It is Mr.
It is Mr.
Ray.
Ray.
I think technically I can give it to Dan, but because Andy specified, I mean, technically it would be a different character. Miss and Mrs.
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes you give too much information and it disqualifies you.
Yeah. Mrs. Ray was in the sequel.
All right, so Dan takes a 1-point lead going into question number 5, which is in the new category of hybrid and Muppets. These are, of course, the films that mix live action and animation, and then, of course, Muppets films. All right, and your question: which hybrid film is an adaptation of a Roald Dahl book about an unhappy young boy who befriends a group of giant bugs? Have you read much Roald Dahl, Amanda?
I've read a fair amount of it. I've read Matilda. I've read The Witches.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was actually a big fan of this book as a kid, but we will see if our competitors know anything about it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Dan.
Well, I have a feeling that if this isn't it, then when I do hear the real answer, I'm going to be like, oh. But I went with Where the Wild Things Are.
That is incorrect. Andy, do you have it?
I probably not. Mars Needs Moms.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for James and the Giant Peach.
Oh my. Yep.
James and the Giant.
I was right. It was going to be one of those.
All right. So we are still having a little bit of a rough go there. Currently 3-2, Daniel's lead going into question number 6.
This comes from The Decline and Wilderness, and that was from the 60s through the 80s. In what film will you find a drunken goose named Uncle Waldo? I loved Uncle Waldo.
I gotta say, these films from the 60s through the 80s, these are a lot of what I grew up on.
Same here.
Because,
they're really good.
Yeah, I mean, when I was actually born, they weren't making a lot of new films. It wasn't until the 90s that they started, popping them out as quickly as they did. But,
yep.
I saw a bunch of the re-releases thinking that they were new.
Right.
All right, well, let's see if our competitors have fond memories of Uncle Waldo in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Andy.
I think I just got it right after, so I know it's not 101 Dalmatians. Nope.
Incorrect.
Came to me right now.
All right, Dan.
I picked a different one, but I don't think I'm any closer. I go with The Rescuers.
No.
Around the right time period. But
you're pretty close to the time period. It is the Aristocats.
Yep.
He was a goose. Oh, I was about to say he was a goose. Oh wait, it says so image.
All right, so
Gander at that.
they're still holding fast at 3-2, going into question number 7 in the category of package films. These are, of course, the short collections of the 1940s. And your question: the final segment of Make Mine Music features what type of animal who dreams of singing opera? Of course, Amanda's favorite category.
Oh, let me tell you, I just
Package
love
films.
those package films.
Have you watched many more of the package films since your last Crash and Burn?
I have not.
No.
I have not. Like, getting package films is like, you know what? Let me just hand this to my competitor.
All right. Well, let's see if our competitors feel any differently in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Going to Dan first.
I decided to give a cricket.
Cricket is incorrect. And Andy,
A hen?
it is not a hen. We were looking for a whale.
Well,
The short is actually
whale.
called A Whale Who Wants to Sing at the Met.
That is very specific.
Right?
That is a very specific
It's like
title.
I can't ask this question and give the name of the segment. So.
It's like, I wonder what that segment's about.
All right, so
it was a heck of a tale, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. There you go. Very nice. All right, so having a hard time here. They're still at 3-2. Daniel's lead going into the final question of round number 1.
All right, final question. This is the CG revolution, which started in the 2010s and goes through the present. In 2014 saw the release of what Disney animated feature?
Test their movie release dates knowledge here.
Do you remember what year this movie came out?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
you know,
has it been that long?
the CG revolution. We're getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start thinking about making a new category.
Yeah, it's all because at this point it's all starting to kind of blur together.
Yeah, well, there's just so many.
And there's so
in
many of
there.
them now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to figure out what to call the next category, but we'll see in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, Andy, let's see your answer.
Wreck-It Ralph?
No, it is not Wreck-It Ralph, although it is a wonderful movie.
It was.
Dan the Man, let's see.
I know this is wrong, but Frozen 2?
Honey.
I know it was wrong.
What were we looking for, Amanda?
The correct answer is Big Hero 6.
Oh,
Big Hero 6. So a tough round 1 for both competitors. Only
You know, there were some tricky
managing-
questions in this one, I gotta say.
True.
Like the hybrid of Muppets and the package films for sure, and
Yeah.
you know, the dark times. Those are all like, those can be tough for sure.
Yeah, so some tough stuff. So coming out, we are at 3-2. However, Daniel does have a slight lead. So let us go ahead and move on into round number 2. In round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like the first spin, you can spin again, unless, of course, you land on opponent's choice, in which case you are stuck with that. Competitors will get 4 questions in their category, and questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is available. However, if you use it, the value of the question will drop to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response, repeats, and challenges are still in effect. All right, so Dan, since you are in the lead, you have the option. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Andy?
I will defer.
All right. So, Andy, we're going to go ahead and bring up the wheel. All right. So, Andy, can you see the wheel?
Yes.
All right. Then, Andy, this spin is yours. All right, Andy, obviously hoping for a good spin here, something that he can really cash in on. Let's see if it's recent Pixar. All right, so Andy, you have the choice. Would you like to keep recent Pixar, or would you like to spin again?
And that's from, what's the time frame?
That is from starting in 2010 to the present.
I'm going to respin.
All right, so Andy is going to spin again. All right, and with his respin, he has landed on the newly christened actors.
All right.
So these are, since we have added the new categories, these are not just voice actors. These are, including obviously the hybrid and Muppets films as well. So, Andy, I will be asking these questions to you. All right. And remember, you still have all three of your repeats and your challenge. All right. So here we go. Question number 1 in the category of actors. What actor, comedian, and filmmaker plays German scientist Professor Max Krassmann in The Muppet Movie?
Do multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. All right, and your options are, is it A, Carl Reiner, B, Steve Martin, C, Rob Reiner, or D, Mel Brooks?
Can I get a repeat of the question?
You want a full repeat?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is your first one. All right, and the question. What actor, comedian, and filmmaker plays German scientist Professor Max Krassmann in The Muppet Movie? Is it A, Carl Reiner, B, Steve Martin, C, Rob Reiner, or D, Mel Brooks?
D, Mel Brooks.
D, Mel Brooks is correct for 1 point. I think Daniel was chomping at the bit there.
I was was playing that little scene in my mind because he got the little
I was doing there's just so many people in that movie.
It's true. There are. All right. So Daniel actually ties it, Andy ties it up with that question, going into question number 2. What prolific character actor provided the voice of Pumbaa in The Lion King?
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane is incorrect.
Oh
Dan,
my God.
you have the chance to steal. Let me repeat the question for you. What prolific character actor provided the voice of Pumbaa in The Lion King?
I've gotten burned on jumping in ahead on these before. Can I do multiple choice? Or does
Unfortunately, you cannot.
Oh,
Not on this one.
Okay, which one was Pumbaa? I'm drawing a complete blank.
No guess?
Nope, no guess.
All right. The correct answer we were looking for was Ernie Sabella.
Oh,
Ernie Sabella, who unfortunately no one remembers, apparently.
Nathan Lane
I don't
was
even know who
Timon.
that
It was
is.
Timon.
Yes. All right. So Andy unfortunately doesn't get that one, but there's also no steal going into his penultimate question in this round. And the question: Owen Wilson provides the voice of what popular Pixar character?
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen is
Ka-chow.
correct for 2 points. All right, so with that, Andy takes a 2-point lead. Let's see if he can extend that with his final question in the category of actors. What actor-director provides the voice of the title character in Disney's Hercules?
Multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice it is. And you're having a little difficulty with those actor directors here. Your options are: is it A, Ron Howard, B, Jonathan Frakes, C, Tate Donovan, or D, Robert Redford?
Can I get the options one more time, or is that a repeat?
No, you can get those for
Okay.
free.
Okay.
All right. The options are: is it A, Ron Howard, B, Jonathan Frakes, C, Tate Donovan, or D, Robert Redford?
See?
C, Tate Donovan is correct. All right. So at the end of his round number 1, Andy currently leads by 3 with a score of 6-3. But of course, Dan has yet to spin the wheel, so we will see what he gets here. All right, so Dan, can you see the wheel?
I can see the wheel.
All right, then this spin is for you. Dan hoping for something good here to try to regain that lead. We'll see. Not actors again. You get a free spin here. Wheel fond of actors. Uh-oh, again. All right, let's try this one more time. It's making up its mind. All right, and you have landed on recent Pixar. To remind you, these are the films from 2010 to current day.
You know, I'll stick with that.
You stick with that? All right.
Who
So,
knows how long we'll be here if we're hitting actors over and over again.
all right. So Dan is going to stick with recent Pixar. So he is going to get 4 questions in the category of recent Pixar. And funnily enough, the person asking you those questions will be your wife, the fairest Amanda VanHeil.
All right, honey. You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Question 1. In Onward, who provides the voice of Laurel Lightfoot, Ian, and Barley's mother?
Oh, I'm going to go with multiple choice.
All
'Cause I have
right.
not seen this one.
Your options are A, Bonnie Hunt, B, Laurie Metcalf, C, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, or D, Joan Cusack. Sorry.
I think I'll go with D, Joan Cusack.
That is incorrect. Andy, would you like to steal?
Well, he gets the opportunity to
Oh, yeah.
go ahead.
Well,
and just
yeah.
Read,
You know,
read the
sorry.
question and options for it.
The question again is, in Onward, who provides the voice of Laurel Lightfoot, Ian, and Barley's mother? Is it A, Bonnie Hunt, B, Laurie Metcalf, C, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, or D, Joan Cusack?
Pick D, pick D, pick D.
A, Bonnie Hunt.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is D. Is not D. I just kept hearing Dan say pick D. Oh my gosh. Subliminal messaging. The correct answer is C, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yep. All right. So moving
that was
on.
going to be my second guess.
Unfortunately, you don't get to. All right. So
All right.
keeping it the same here, going into question number 2.
Okay, number 2. What acting legend provided the voice of Joe's mother, Liba, in Soul?
Joel's mother?
Joe's mother.
Again, I haven't seen it, so I'm going to go multiple choice.
All right. They are A, Angela Bassett, B, Felicia Rashad, C, Viola Davis, or D, Whoopi Goldberg.
I'll go with A, Angela Bassett.
A is incorrect. So that gives Andy the opportunity to steal. So Andy, what acting legend provided the voice of Joe's mother, Liba, in Soul? Is it A, Angela Bassett, B, Felicia Rashad, C, Viola Davis, or D, Whoopi Goldberg?
C, Viola Davis.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is B, Felicia Rashad.
That wasn't my second guess.
All right, so we are still at a score of 3-6. Daniel still down by 3 points going into his penultimate question in this round.
All right, question number 3. In Luca, before the group split, what activity did Luca agree to do in the Porta Rosa Cup?
Play goalie.
That is incorrect. Andy, would you like to try and steal this one?
I mean, sure, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I haven't seen this one, so.
Okay, so the question again is, in Luca, before the group split, what activity did Luca agree to do in the Porta Rosa Cup?
Run onto the field in the middle of the game? I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun, but the correct answer is biking.
Yeah, it was a triathlon.
Oh, okay.
Biking, pasta eating, and swimming. All right. So,
Well, I guess there's no real hope for me to win this one, but we're on to the last one.
you never know. You never know. Still got a few questions and round 3 to go. So, going into the final question in this round.
All right, question number 4. In Cars 3, what is the name? I'm like, you better know this one. In Cars 3, what is the name of Lightning McQueen's trainer turned protege?
Man, I almost said Carla. That would have been funny. It's... Oh, come
You
on.
want-
In
I
5,
know it starts with a C.
4, 3,
Or
2.
Cruz. Something Cruz. Loretta Cruz?
I need a final answer.
Laura Cruz.
That
Honey.
is incorrect. Unfortunately, you did have multiple choice, but Andy will not when he gets the opportunity to steal.
In Cars 3, what is the name of Lightning McQueen's trainer turned protege?
Oh, gosh.
In 5, 4, 3, 2,
It's not just Cruz. It's not just that though. I know it's not. Can't pull
we
it.
Need the whole name. It's Cruz Ramirez.
Uh,
You're on the
going
right
the wrong
track.
way.
On the right track, but yeah. All right. So at the end of round number 2, we are still at 6-3. Andy with a 3-point lead. Daniel obviously having a tough round in round number 2, but it is still anyone's game. Never know what's going to happen in that third round. So let us go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 3. All right, in round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right, so in round number 3, like I said, Andy currently has a 3-point lead. So, Andy, you get to choose your 3 numbers first. What 3 would you like?
Go with 2, 12, and 17.
2, 12, and 17. All right, and Daniel, what sounds good to you?
Well, in true nerd fashion, if I got to pick a number between 1 and 20, I'd do it with this. So, 3, 14, and 16.
3, 14, and 16. Good. I'm honestly surprised your die didn't land on any of the ones that Andy chose. So very nice.
I was too.
All right. So, Daniel, we are going to start with you. You are currently down by 3. So you are currently fighting against that TKO to try to send this back to Andy, make him answer some questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Ready.
All right. So we will start with your 2-point question. And you chose category number 3. That relates to the category of the decline and wilderness. These are the films of the 60s through the 80s. And your question: what is the name of the young boy who is raised by wolves in The Jungle Book?
Man, why isn't this coming to me? Man cub, come on.
We'll say you do have your repeats.
Yeah, what? Could you repeat it again?
Sure. All right. That is your first one. All right. And your question: what is the name of the young boy who is raised by wolves in The Jungle Book?
Batu.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Mowgli. All right, so moving on to your 3-point question. For that, you chose number 14, which relates to the category of directors. So if you get this right, you will actually tie up with Andy and still send it back to him. And your question: who directed The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh. Tim Burton.
That is
What?
Incorrect. We were looking for Henry Selick.
He wrote the music.
Tim Burton produced it. He produced it.
Tim Burton produced, Henry Selick directed. So, We are down to the 5-point question. All right. And a reminder, if you get this correct, then you will knock it back to Andy and he will start answering some questions. However, if you miss, Andy will win by TKO. Right? And the question. You chose the number 16, and that corresponds to the category of princesses. And your question. In the princess scene in Ralph Breaks the Internet, what does Pocahontas's comfy shirt say?
Oh. Well, there's a reason this is a 5-pointer, isn't it?
There is in 5, 4, 3, 2.
American made.
And your winner by TKO, Andy Too Sweet. We were looking for Blue Corn Moon.
Yeah, I never would have got that. What's relaxing about that?
All right, guys. So, good game, kind of tough, but I will go ahead and have you guys drop out, and I will bring you back in for interviews. Well, Amanda, tough game.
That
for
was
both
a
of
tough
these
game.
Competitors. Very low scoring. Unfortunately, 3-6 is the final score. I think that is the lowest scoring game we've ever had.
I was about to ask, is that like a record low?
Yeah. It's tough, especially from two competitors that I've seen actually do pretty well in this game.
Yeah.
Just, happened to get some tough questions that just they weren't ready for today. But I think it is time to go ahead and give them their opportunity to speak. So I will go ahead and bring them in for interviews.
Sounds good.
So Dan, tough match, buddy. I mean, we saw you before with very little prep time, do very well, take your wife to sudden death. And then you do get time to study, and unfortunately, you only got 3 points. I'm feeling like maybe the secret for you is don't study.
I don't know if it was that, or I think I lulled myself into too much of a. I knew when it said modern or like recent Pixar,
right?
That category. When you said 2010 onward, I'm like, okay, I've seen Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frozen 2, not Frozen.
Yeah, those are Disney.
Yeah, those are Disney. But I've seen Incredibles 2, I've seen Toy Story 4, I've seen so I've seen some Pixar's, but it was like, all right, onward. Nope. I think maybe the most recent one I must have seen was like Inside Out or something. Was Soul another one that was on there?
Yeah.
That was another one I hadn't
it was a lot of very recent Pixar there.
Yeah, it was like recent. I was like,
yeah,
I might be able to scoot by if we're in the Cars 3 range was right about where I was. And then I completely forgot about the multiple choice on that one.
Yeah, I was kind
of
of
lost by 6-4.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been something, but yeah, I was rooting for you to at least go to multiple choice because I thought you might know it, but you don't think of it. And then obviously in that third round, I mean, sometimes you just have a brain fart. I know you're probably going to kick yourself for Mowgli.
Oh yeah, Mowgli. I'm just like, of course. But of course, I had Man Cub going through my head because I got the song stuck in my head.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just a tough match for you. But I gotta say, I'm still hoping to see you do better in the future. What are you? Do you think you might change your strategy a little bit moving forward?
I think I might look into actually look at the credits on some of the movies I've watched. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, it might.
And not just go by, oh, I know that person's voice. They did that other thing with the other person. Like, maybe actually put some names to these faces,
Sure. All right. Well, we'll just have to see. Looking forward to what you do next.
Yeah, well, I'll hope to be back on again. Not too
All right.
soon, but soon.
All right, Dan, we'll see you. All right. So we have today's winner. Andy Too Sweet, although unfortunately not the largest score, you were still in the lead and you did get a TKO. How are you feeling about that?
I feel fine. It went how it should have gone. So how I thought it would. Obviously, not my best game. Need to polish up on some things, but
Sure.
I took care of someone who took my match. So that's step one on the step to that belt. Still got a long ways to go, but we're slowly righting the things that were wrong last season, and we'll just keep going. We're just going to keep moving forward.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, I got to say, you mentioned your plan. You have successfully moved on to step two. So, now you've got Amanda. I mean, obviously, like you said, this wasn't your best game. How are you feeling like you're going to regroup to prepare for that match?
The TKO, the win, that definitely helps. So I'm just going to use that confidence and ride that wave into the next thing. And, obviously you've learned with this game, anything can happen. Every game is different. So can't be too overconfident, but you just got to be just confident enough to keep trucking along and take the questions as they come. That, those round 3 questions he had, those were some tough questions. So you just got to keep going though. Don't let it stop you in your tracks. And I'm sure he'll be back next season.
I mean, who knows? He might be back a little sooner than that. But yeah, unfortunately didn't go Dan's way today. It did go your way. So we will see how your match with Amanda goes.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Andy. Well, like we said, quite the match. And now, Amanda, you know exactly who you're playing.
I know what I'm up against now.
I mean, I gotta say, with that score, I mean, does that make you feel confident, or were those questions tough for you as well?
Some of them were tough, but I knew a fair amount of them, and there were several that I was like, I don't know how Dan doesn't know this, but he's also like me and will I blank on the spot. So I totally get that. Sure. I think it's just at the very beginning, there were some really tough ones. And I think that might've gotten just both of them just in their heads and made it kind of hard to keep up with it.
Yeah. Sometimes when you get a question that, especially if you feel like you should know it and you miss it, you can get in your head and it can really kind of mess with the whole rest of your game. So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, good luck to you and good luck to Andy in your next match. We will just have to see how that goes.
Yep.
All right.
Looking forward to it though.
Yeah, absolutely. So that match and many others are coming up. Unfortunately, I can't promise that I will always be here, but we will obviously be bringing you many more matches, but in order to see them, you got to stay here. You got to stay watching. And remember, moo.
Moo.